My wife trusted her friend's falsehood and left me. I'm 35, and my divorce from my wife, Emily, was finalized recently. We shared 6 years together, 2 of them as a married couple. In hindsight, I should have noticed the red flags that foreshadowed our downfall. They were there from the start, but love, or what I thought was love, blinded me to them. The cracks in our relationship were personified by Emily's closest friend, Rachel. From the moment I met Rachel, I sensed trouble. She was brash, self-absorbed, and always craving the spotlight. It felt like she was constantly evaluating me, searching for a weak spot to exploit. Emily, however, was oblivious to this. To her, Rachel was her steadfast companion from college, the one who'd weathered every storm by her side. I figured I'd put up with Rachel for Emily's sake, but Rachel knew exactly how to stir trouble. The issues began escalating when we started planning our wedding. After 3 years of dating, I proposed to Emily. We were already living together, so it felt like the natural next step. She was overjoyed, and so was I, at least initially. Then Rachel inserted herself into the process. It started small. She criticized our choice of colors, calling them dull and uninspired. I brushed it off. Colors weren't worth arguing over. Then she insisted on vegan menu options, claiming most guests would want them, despite there being maybe 3 vegetarians among them. Her boldest demand came next. Rachel wanted to walk down the aisle before the bridesmaids, as if she were the star of the show. Her reasoning: "I've been there for Emily through every heartbreak, every tough moment. This day isn't just about your marriage, it's about honoring the people who have supported her." I thought she was joking at first. Who makes such a request? But Emily just went along with it, nodding as if it made perfect sense. I tried to reason with her. This is our wedding, not Rachel's stage. Emily got defensive, accusing me of overreacting. Rachel, meanwhile, acted as if I'd personally attacked her. "Wow," she said, "I didn't realize your fiancé was so controlling." Those words stung, but instead of defending me, Emily gave in. "It's just one small thing," she said later. "If it makes her happy, what's the harm?" So Rachel got her moment, strutting down the aisle like it was her own wedding. My parents exchanged puzzled glances, but I forced a smile for the photos, hoping things would settle down after the wedding. I was wrong. Rachel didn't fade into the background after we tied the knot. She became even more intrusive. Whenever Emily and I discussed plans, Rachel's name inevitably came up. "Oh, I already invited Rachel to join us," Emily would say, or "Rachel thinks we should try this place instead." It was as if our decisions required her approval. I tried addressing it gently. "I appreciate that you're close with Rachel, but she's too involved in our lives. Can we set some boundaries?" Emily got defensive again. "She's my best friend, I can't just cut her out. You don't understand what she means to me." Maybe I didn't. I wasn't there for their college days or past heartbreaks. But I could see Rachel didn't respect me or our marriage, and Emily was too caught up in their friendship to notice. I hoped Rachel wasn't deliberately undermining me, but deep down I knew better. She didn't like me, plain and simple. I should have put my foot down sooner, but I didn't want to push Emily away. That was my mistake. By staying quiet, I gave Rachel permission to meddle even more. About a year into our marriage, things seemed to stabilize. Emily and I had a routine: work, date nights, weekend movie marathons. It wasn't perfect, but it was comfortable. That peace shattered when Rachel showed up at our door one Friday evening, sobbing hysterically. We were about to make dinner, tacos, nothing fancy, when the doorbell rang. Emily answered, and I heard Rachel's wails from the living room. She stood there, mascara streaking down her face, a duffel bag slung over her shoulder. "He dumped me," she cried, clinging to Emily. "I can't be alone." Emily ushered her inside, shooting me a look that said we'd discuss it later. I stood in the kitchen, knife in hand, feeling like I'd been sucked into a drama I didn't sign up for. Rachel collapsed on our couch, recounting how her boyfriend of 2 years, Mark, had ended things via text, claiming they weren't compatible. She painted herself as the perfect partner and him as a cold-hearted jerk. "Do you have somewhere to stay?" Emily asked gently. Rachel glanced at me before answering, "No, I can't go to my parents, they'll just rub it in, and my other friends are busy." I saw where this was headed and wasn't thrilled. Sure enough, Emily turned to me. "Is it okay if Rachel stays here for a few days, just until she's back on her feet?" What could I say? Refuse her distraught friend? So I nodded. "Sure." At first, I tried to be understanding. Breakups are rough, and I got that. But a few days stretched into weeks. Rachel didn't just stay, she took over. Our tidy guest room turned into a disaster zone, with clothes strewn everywhere and dirty dishes piling up. The living room became her domain. where she'd sprawl on the couch in pajamas, watching loud reality TV and munching on snacks. The kitchen was a mess too. Rachel used our cookware for her half-hearted cooking attempts but never cleaned up. I brought it up to Emily one night. "I know Rachel's struggling, but she's treating our home like a hotel. It's not fair." Emily seemed conflicted. "I know it's annoying, but she has nowhere else to go. She just needs a bit more time." "It's been 2 weeks," I said. "How much longer?" Emily promised to talk to her, but nothing changed. Rachel flipped the script, playing the victim. "I'm sorry if I'm such a burden," she said tearfully. "I'll leave if that's what you want." Emily rushed to reassure her, and I was left fuming. Rachel knew how to manipulate her, and Emily fell for it every time. The breaking point came a month later. One morning, I went to the backyard to grab tools for a project and found my equipment scattered across the patio. Rachel was sitting on the grass, painting random pieces of wood in garish colors. "What's this?" I asked, gesturing to the mess. "It's for my therapy," she said casually. "My counselor said to get creative to process my feelings." "You used my tools without asking," I said, stunned. She shrugged. "I didn't think you'd care." That was it. I marched inside and told Emily she has to go. "I'm not asking anymore." Emily was shocked by my tone. "What happened?" "She's treating our home like her playground," I said. "I'm done. She needs to leave." Emily sighed but didn't argue. I sat both of them down and laid it out. "Rachel, we've supported you, but it's been a month. You need to find somewhere else to stay." Rachel accused me of being heartless, saying I didn't understand her pain. "You're kicking me out when I'm at my lowest," she snapped. I held firm. "I'm not kicking you out today, but you need to make plans." Emily stayed quiet, and Rachel left within a week, muttering about how I'd always been controlling and Emily deserved better. When she was gone, our home felt like ours again, but I knew Rachel wasn't done causing trouble. The real damage came on a random Saturday. Emily went for her usual brunch with Rachel, and I stayed home to run errands, groceries, laundry, yard work. When Emily returned, something was off. She mumbled a greeting and went straight to the bedroom. All day she was distant, avoiding eye contact and giving one-word answers. I asked if something was wrong, but she brushed it off with, "I'm fine." That night she slept on the edge of the bed, far from me. The next morning I pressed her. "Emily, what's going on? You've been acting strange since brunch." After a long pause, she looked at me, her face a mix of anger and pain. "Were you with someone else yesterday?" I was floored. "What? No. What are you talking about?" Her voice sharpened. "Rachel said she saw you in a parking lot kissing some woman in your car. She described your jacket, your car, the lot near the mall." I almost laughed at the absurdity, but Emily's expression stopped me. "That's ridiculous," I said. "I was grocery shopping. That's why I was at the mall." "Then why would Rachel say that?" Emily shot back. That question stung. Not could she be mistaken. But why would she lie? I felt my frustration boil over. "I don't know, Emily. Why don't you ask her? I didn't do anything wrong." But she wasn't listening. "I don't know what to believe," she said quietly. "Rachel wouldn't lie about something like this." That hurt more than anything. After 6 years, she doubted me over Rachel. "You've known me for years," I said, pacing. "Do you really think I'd cheat on you in a parking lot? Does that sound like me?" She didn't answer, just stared at her hands. "I need time to think," she whispered. The next week was torture. Emily barely spoke to me, moved to the guest room, and shut down any attempt to talk. I was furious, not just at Rachel, but at Emily for believing her so easily. A week later, Emily packed her things and left without telling me where she was going. The next day, I got a text. "I think we should separate for now. My lawyer will send the papers." That was it. No discussion, just a text. Our marriage was over because of one baseless story. I wanted to fight for the truth, but part of me was done. If Emily could discard me so quickly, maybe our marriage wasn't worth saving. The fallout was brutal. Rachel spread her version of events, and mutual friends started treating me like a pariah. Even my family asked uncomfortable questions. I was angry, but as weeks passed, that anger turned cold. If Emily trusted Rachel over me, maybe I didn't need her in my life. 2 months later, I got a text from a vaguely familiar number. It was Lauren, someone I vaguely recalled from a party years ago. "Hi, this is Lauren. I know Rachel lied about you. Can we talk?" Curious, I replied. "What do you mean?" She responded. "Rachel admitted she made up the cheating story. I have proof." We met at a coffee shop the next day. Lauren showed me a text exchange with Rachel. It was damning. Rachel bragged about lying to Emily, saying she'd seen me with another woman and laughing about how easily Emily believed her. "He's controlling and she's too naive to see it," Rachel wrote. "I had to save her." I was shaking with rage as I read on. Rachel mocked Emily's gullibility and gloated about ruining our marriage. Lauren explained she couldn't stay silent after seeing how twisted Rachel was. I thanked her, took screenshots, and left, my mind racing. I sent the screenshots to my lawyer with a note. "This is what happened. Let me know how to proceed." I debated texting Emily, but decided she deserved to know the truth, even if it changed nothing. I wrote, "We need to talk. I have proof Rachel lied. Can we meet?" She agreed to meet at a park the next day. I wasn't trying to win her back, just clear my name. At the park, Emily looked nervous. I handed her my phone with the screenshots. As she read, her face paled and her hands trembled. "She lied," she whispered. "Yeah," I said, keeping my voice steady. "She made it all up to break us up and thought it was funny." Emily sat down, staring at the ground. "I didn't know," she said softly. "You didn't know because you didn't give me a chance," I replied, sharper than intended. "You believed her over me without even asking. Do you know how humiliating it's been? Everyone thinks I'm a cheater because you didn't trust me." Tears streamed down her face. "I thought I was doing the right thing. Rachel's been my friend forever. I trusted her. And that trust cost us our marriage," I said bluntly. She offered to cut Rachel off and suggested counseling, but I shook my head. "It's not just about Rachel. It's about you not trusting me. That's not something we can fix." Emily sobbed, begging for another chance, but I couldn't do it. The betrayal ran too deep. I walked away, feeling in control for the first time in months. Emily sent a long apology text that night, pleading for reconciliation. I didn't respond. I shared the screenshots with mutual friends who doubted me, letting the truth speak for itself. Soon, I was flooded with apologies and support. I wasn't interested in rebuilding those friendships. Anyone who believed Rachel so easily wasn't worth my time. I didn't confront Rachel either. She wasn't worth it. Word spread quickly, though. Friends told me Rachel was being shunned by our social circle after Lauren shared the screenshots. Rachel's online posts whined about being abandoned by fake friends, but the comments called her out for her manipulation. She'd finally faced consequences. Emily's life unraveled too. She moved in with her parents, and her mother, who never liked Rachel, was furious when she learned the truth. Emily tried reconnecting with friends, but most kept their distance, wary of her quick betrayal. Rachel lost her job soon after as her reputation caught up with her at work. Her coworkers distanced themselves, and her manager cited team conflicts as the reason for her firing. I didn't feel sorry for her. She'd earned it. Months later, I ran into Lauren at a coffee shop. She told me Emily had tried reconciling with Rachel, only for Rachel to mock her and cut her off. My life, meanwhile, was improving. I felt free, unburdened by the drama. Rachel's lie may have sparked the end of my marriage, but Emily's lack of trust was the real reason it collapsed. I was ready to move forward, leaving the past and them behind. Thank you for watching my story. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe and press the bell icon. Stay tuned for more real-life stories, get more experiences.